Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Let's hop straight into it and talk about the fact that we're now a 3-game winning streak, which, I mean, honestly, usually as a Pacers fan, that's not crazy to say that we're on a 3-game winning streak. But this year, yeah, it's very insane. Just because, I mean, we had only one. Before last week, we had 6 wins total. Now we have 3 in the last pretty much 5 days. Huge for this team, huge for the confidence. Um, Obviously, if we're set on not, I mean, there's no really big chance that we're going to make the playoffs, but a few wins is going to help our team confidence. Is going to help Carlisle really understand what guys to use. And just some key takeaways from this game is the fact that we shot 16 of 37 from 3, which is 43%, while they shot 9 for 35. Some of the numbers that I want to look at are Jay Huff was 8 for 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Nemhard was 3 of 5 from 3, 2 of 6 for Neesmith, 3 of 5 from Walker, and 2 of 4 from Quentin Jackson. 21 points for Siakam. Well, I'm going to talk about him in a bit because he has just been phenomenal. 20 for Huff. Big game from Jay Huff. He also adds 2 steals and a block. And then 13 points for Nemhard, 11 for Walker. Not a high-scoring game. It was 98 to 96. We only had 4 players in double figures, but we also had guys with 8, 6, a few guys with 5, and then for a few with 4. So most guys that played ended up scoring. Everyone but Tony Bradley. But then the Celtics also had 4 guys in double figures, but they were also not shooting as consistently. Sam Hauser was 2 for 7. Derek White was 7 of 21. Anthony Simons was 7 of 15. And Peyton Pritchard was 10 of 22. Outside of Cada, they weren't crazy, efficient. But there's a few things I want to look into this game the more I go into this episode because there were some interesting stats in this one. They had more rebounds. We had more assists. They beat us on the offensive glass, which is pretty usual for the Pacers. We had more blocks, same amount of turnovers. Their points in the paint, once again, drilled us, but we did win because of the crazy three-point barrage that we were on. And then there was a total of 14 fouls in the game, which I think is pretty funny. But before I get into that, let's talk about Pascal Siakam and just the fact that he just keeps hitting game winners. Now, technically the one in Charlotte wasn't necessarily a game winner, but it was because, there wasn't a lot of time left. He made the shot to go up. So I'm going to consider it a game winner because the Hornets didn't do anything afterwards. But this one, flat out game winner. Boston didn't do anything with the ball after Siakam made his shot. Really nice spin move, floater off the glass. Perfect. Caps off his 21.8 rebounds, 6 assist night. Also add on 2 steals and a block for him as well, so good on the defensive end. Shooting 10 for 15, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Missed his only 3, so he didn't make a 3 in this game, but he didn't really need to. Everyone else was hitting. So a fantastic game from Siakam. We know Siakam is a very clutch player. We've seen him. This team has a lot of clutch factors. We've seen Nemhard be clutch in the playoffs or in different games, hitting a game winner in his rookie season against the Lakers. That big shot he had against New York Knicks 2 playoffs ago. Obviously Halliburton and pretty much everything he ever did in the playoffs last year. And just overall, Neesmith's pretty much shooting the lights out, having the craziest 3-point shooting game in the playoffs last year against the Knicks in game 1, which pretty much brought us back into that game. And so this team has some really good shooters, and this team has some, players that are very clutch and very consistent, and it's just been very fun to watch. But fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm actually going to look at 2 Hornets players, a team we've talked about already. LaMelo Ball and Kanepo. LaMelo Ball's projection is 18.5 points. I actually think him and Kanepo are going to have very big games. So I'm going to go higher on both of them. Knepels is set at 17.5. Right now he's averaging about 19 a game. But I feel like this is one of those games that he's going to pop off and go higher than 17.5. So that's my prediction for that. And my prediction for LaMelo is he will go higher than 18.5. So those are my predictions for the Hornets game. Download the app today and use promo code BasketballFan to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That is promo code BasketballFan. Underdog, make picks, win money. Now, this is actually something really funny that I want to address, and it's the fact that the Pacers shot 6 free throws against the Celtics. Now, you hear that and you think, wow, very one-sided game. No, that was not the case at all. It was the fact that the refs swallowed their whistle and there wasn't a lot of calls because the Celtics themselves shot 9 free throws. The two teams were 11 of 15 from the free throw line. That's pretty much just Shea, but he is pretty much, a better free throw shooter than 11-15. But that's pretty much a Shea or a Luka Doncic or a Giannis type free throw stat line. Not two teams combined in a whole game. There was a game last season where the Pacers lost to the Magic because the Magic had 40-something free throws. The Pacers had like 12. You would think that was this case. No. It was just the fact that neither team actually really shot free throws. And, sorry, while I'm watching this game, the Texans just scored. Well, sorry, while I'm recording this video, the Texans just scored a touchdown, which is crazy. It was a fumble, but no, sucks for Colts fans that the Texans are currently beating the Steelers. Now, while this video is over, who knows? By the time I finish recording this video, who knows who's actually going to win? Texans are up 17-6. But back to my rant about the free throws. Now, we have been struggling in the paint, which, yeah, makes sense, but teams get away with a lot of fouls on us, and that's pretty obvious. But last but not least, I just want to talk about the fact that the Pacers are showing some life, and I love it. I love it. Obviously, I'm not saying that we got to go and win 40 straight games because that is just not going to happen. We have a few good games coming up. We have Toronto on Wednesday. We have New Orleans on Friday. And then we have the back-to-back right after New Orleans and Detroit. Then we have Philadelphia. We have Boston again. Then we have Oklahoma City. I don't like our chances against OKC. I don't like our chances against Boston when they have Jaylen Brown. Every other team, the Pistons are playing amazing. So that's one game that we'll see. But I am going to talk about each and every one of those games in the upcoming episodes. Just seeing how Scotty Barnes and Brandon Ingram do against us, or how because Zion usually pops off against us when he's healthy, or if Cade and Jalen Duren will be fully healthy by the time that we go to Detroit, because they should pretty much be back by then. So yeah, that's really all that. But as always, I really enjoy doing these videos. It's fun just getting out news, my opinions on games. Just big win for the Pacers here, and we're now 9-31, which, I mean, it's still really funny that we're that bad. But, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. A good draft pick is really all I'm hoping for, whether it's the first, second, third, just a good draft pick that we can enjoy, get a big player. Huge shout out for Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring these videos. Check them out. The QR code is up here. But as always, I'm your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. Boom, baby, and go Sirs.